A Bloom filter is a probabilistic data structure. It lets you know if an element is in a set or not in a very optimistic way. Why probabilistic? Let's say you enter some value in the Bloom filter and you want to check if it exists or not. So unlike a boolean, this is going to give you four states, that is true positive, false negative and true negative. So true positive is going to tell you that it exists. Checking in the Bloom filter confirm it exists. In the case of false positive, a username does not exist in the Bloom filter, but searching in the Bloom filter will tell you that it exists. So it's kind of misleading us. In the case of false negative, username exists in the Bloom filter, but if you search in the Bloom filter, it will tell you it does not exist. Yep, that's misleading again. So in case of true negative, if the username does not exist in the Bloom filter, searching in the Bloom filter will tell you it does not exist. So it's just like normal false. Let's define a hash space. Hash space is nothing but bit array. You can think it as a bit array. For this example, I've drawn in terms of 2D and it is 8 cross 4. Let's take example of a word Thor. And what we're going to do is we're going to pass this into 4 hashing functions. Each hashing function will give you some number that was defined in the hash space. Let's try to map the output of all 4 hash functions to the hash space. So bit number 19, 20, 22 and 31 will all be flipped from 0 to 1. Let's repeat it for Loki, Hulk and Odin. So after adding 4 words, a Bloom filter looks like this. To check something exists in a Bloom filter is pretty easy. Let's take example of Thor. So step 1 is to find the hashes of the word Thor. In this case, we get 6, 29, 0 and 17. Step 2 is just check in the bit array if all these bits are 1. Meaning if it is 1, you can probably say Thor probably exists in Bloom filter. So let's take another example of word sage. First, you find the hashes of those words. In this case, it's 4, 11, 5 and 7. You check these hashes against the Bloom filter bit array. And if you get any of them as 0, then you can definitely be 100% sure that Bloom filter does not have that particular word. In short, you can say that if all positions are 1 in the bit array, element probably exists in the set. If all positions in bit array are 0, element definitely not exists in a set. The code is pretty simple. You first define the size, the hash count and bit array. To add some word, you call the add method. Basically, you find the hashes of the word and mark all the position in the bit array as 1. Finally, you end up with the check method. You take the word again, you find the positions in the bit array. If all of them are 1, say the item exists in the Bloom filter. Otherwise, you can be 100% sure item does not exist in the Bloom filter. So that's it for the video. Thank you. Bye bye.